It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam Richmond Pullman for you. Your job involves assembling a cabinet. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Oh, that took me a second. It's kind of weird with jokes I don't get. I'll go, oh, that took me a minute, but it only took me like 1.3 seconds.
Yeah.
Rich man, poor man is stuff rich people do and poor people do,
Yeah.
not middle class.
A standard bit around here.
Assembling a cabinet.
I mean, that's a rich guy hobby if I ever heard one. If you got enough time to kick it and make a cabinet. No?
See, no. That was a very nuanced one. Mayhem.
Oh, you're talking IKEA cabinet? All right, that's poor guy stuff.
No. Poor guy puts together IKEA.
Yeah.
Rich guy, Trump, assembles a cabinet. See, that's why.
See, bud, I'm still trying to get it.
That assembling a cabinet.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, like first name basis with a judge. Mm-hmm. Either at the country club or you're always in court.
Oh, but I'm a first name with a few.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
But not from the country club.
No, definitely not.
All right. What do you got there?
Well, Biggie, Tupac, add Peanut the Squirrel to a list of assassinations. Yeah, it touches off a social media firestorm after New York officials euthanized the beloved rodent.
Yeah, I've been seeing this all over the place. Listen, you know, there's a couple of parts here.
Yeah.
There's Anne Frank hiding in the attic, right?
Are you not animating hiding enemies of the state beneath your floorboards, a raccoon and a squirrel?
Hold on.
All right.
There's Anne Frank. Then there's the Nazis who came in and pulled her out of the attic and took her to a concentration camp.
Yeah.
But before the Nazis got there, somebody had to say to the Nazis, I think there's a 13-year-old girl in a fetal position trying to write a book by candlelight up there who's malnourished. If you really are serious about winning this war, I suggest you go get her and take her down to Auschwitz. Somebody told them. They were not on a random Nazi search. Somebody in the village, and by the way, the person in the area she was in was sort of like, hey, Nazis, I'd like an extra ration of ham.
Yeah.
So I got some info you might enjoy. There's this 13-year-old girl who weighs 80 pounds who's hiding up in that attic. Why don't you go get her? So the way I'm wired, I'm a little less perturbed at the Nazis because the Nazis are Nazis. That's what Nazis do.
It's the snitch.
Who's the snitch?
Yeah.
Who's the snitch? That's my point. There's the stormtroopers. And by the way, look, I don't know if the squirrel was Republican or Democrat or whatever it is. I've said to people a million times, listen, I just want smaller government. That's all. Just smaller.
Well, raccoons...
I want a smaller government. I do not want 12 people showing up and pulling a guy out of his house and keeping him on his lawn for 5 hours while they rifle through his house looking for a rodent.
Well, also, raccoons are well-known socialists.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they share everything.
So they got the raccoon. They got the squirrel. I've seen video of the squirrel. The squirrel seems well-behaved and well-trained.
Can we just say adorable?
And adorable. And the raccoon, there's plenty of footage of it. I don't know if we have any footage of the guy talking about it or anything, but he's very upset about it.
Well, I mean, I did notice the squirrel is black. Was that?
They're putting down brown.
Did that have something to do with it?
Well, if Trump has anything to say about it. But it's just insane. You know what I'm always, what drives me nuts is that we have no resources and then all the resources. You know, like we do these things where I go, these kids in the inner city of Baltimore, they got no air conditioning in their classroom. You know, during the summer months, It's impressively. And then at some point they go, look, we need an aid package for Ukraine for $200 kajillion, and they go, all right, sign off on that. It's like, okay, what society do we live in? Do we live in a society where there's we don't have enough money and enough cops and enough everything, but we do have enough money to send 12 people over to a dude's house and get a squirrel?
Yeah, but let me tell you, latex gloves. Okay, when I was in jail, they walked me back and forth to the visiting room every day to talk with my lawyers. They put on a fresh pair of latex gloves. Then they took off the pair of latex gloves. Then they came back. Then they put a new pair of latex gloves. And took off for a 6-foot walk.
Right.
Every day. With every different inmate. They did that over and over again, like they're wearing condoms on their hands.
All going to the landfill.
Yes. Okay. That's
I'm
America.
with you. No, that's waste.
And then and one time they came to get me in my house. Okay, helicopter overhead, machine guns on every roof, sniper rifles on every roof. All these guys getting paid time and a half to come get Mayhem.
Wow.
Yeah. This
helicopter.
is
a bird in the air.
Bird in the sky, $12,000 an hour. A ATV or assault vehicle with a battering ram on the front. C4 to the door. No Mayhem, no more. Yeah.
Wait, C4 explosives?
Yeah, they C4 the door off. Yeah.
Oh, they blew the door off.
Oh, yeah. Almost killed my wiener dog.
I'm kind of... Which wiener?
Hot dog.
Oh, the dog.
Gator hot dog.
Yeah,
remember
Gator
I referred to him? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm almost convinced that when they go, look, it just drives me nuts. What's her name? Lori Loughlin.
Yeah.
And I was also watching this with Martha Stewart. Like, the amount of money and effort we put into prosecuting Martha Stewart is insane. Martha Stewart was a fucking earner.
Yeah.
She was an earner. And she employed thousands of people. And not to mention all the people that were making all the products that were Kmart and everything like that. And basically, she got a phone call from, like, her accountant. And said, like, hey, I heard the FDA is not going to approve this new drug and you own whatever in this pharmaceutical company. Now would be a good time to sell it off, before the news comes out. And then Martha Stewart did what every other human being I know would do. They went, oh, yeah, okay, thanks. See ya. Hung up the phone and continued her trip. She was on vacation. And 16 million taxpayer dollars later and 5 court appearances. And by the way, they never even got her for insider trading. They got her for lying during a deposition and an interview, which is what they get. It's like, how much energy do they have? Now, then we get Martha Stewart, and instead of her paying millions of dollars in taxes every quarter, we pull her out of the game and put her in some facility where it cost us $55,000 to incarcerate her, where we waste latex gloves.
It seems like you're making a good argument for defunding the police.
Well, I don't. No. I like the police because they keep the peace.
But if you give a bunch of hammers, everything starts looking like nails.
Well, look, I've never been a big pro-cop fan. We've done little experimentations of what happens when the cops pull back. It gets hairy, and it gets bad in the bad neighborhoods. I'm talking about the system, not so much the guy on the corner. I don't like the big sort of DOJ system. I don't like that Alec Baldwin gets pulled back a third time to defend himself against something that was clearly an accident that he will regret till the day he dies. Yeah. I don't need that kind of stuff, resources, focus on. But wait, we have this guy's clip, the guy with the Peanut the Squirrel.
Oh, Peanut. To beloved baby.
All right.
It's a beloved baby.
That was. But, the one I saw was him and his wife standing there, but he's got another entry.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to update all of you, but I would first like to say how grateful I am for all of the love and support. You guys have no idea how much you have gotten me through the
guy looks like Aaron Rodgers.
He does.
His eyes. He has Aaron Rodgers' eyes.
Transpired yesterday. I'm going to leave the details out of it, but we have the understanding that the DEC will not tell us whether or not Peanut is alive or not. So I can't give you a definitive answer of whether or not he's still here with us. I hope we have an opportunity to take him back and continue this journey on starting a nonprofit in a squirrel.
Wait, hold on a second.
Starting this.
I thought Peanut got euthanized with the raccoon. He's saying now maybe not?
No, this is before that. And then there's a second video with him and his wife.
I'll play the
crying.
one with him and his wife. I think that's.
And then also, a woman did claim to snitching on Peanut.
Oh,
and
what
now,
the hell?
And now is taking down all her social media and the post.
I do not want her to have anything physical done to her, but I would like her to be shunned and ostracized from society.
Kill the collaborator.
That's right. The dime droppers, the Peanut dime droppers.
Oh, my God. We're just doxing her right now, Monica Kiesler.
Yes.
Oh, down with Kiesler.
Do we have, do we have the first vid? That's the one I saw.
So Super Karen took out
Yeah.
Peanut. That's a shame. I mean, look, 7 years, the guy didn't have a wildlife permit. And, it's kind of weird. Like, I feel like you go down to the courthouse, fill out some paperwork, and he would have been able to keep Peanut. They wouldn't have kicked his door with the 44. And,
But let me say this, Mayhem, about the man. People say to me a lot, they go, I've built a few things without pulling a permit, and they go, why don't you just go down to the city and get a permit? Ooh. And I'm like, you're assuming I could just go down to the city and they would permit this.
I know.
They will not let you do it. That's what lay people don't understand. They go, just get a permit. You could do the deck on the back. And they won't let you do it. So you go down to get a wildlife permit and they go, what? And you go, I got a squirrel in my house. They go, you do? And then they go get the squirrel and euthanize it. And we'll see if you'll never get the permit.
So Peanut was living on borrowed time the whole time.
Peanut was living like one of my favorite TV movies from the 70s, Bad Ronald.
On the lam.
You don't know Bad Ronald's story.
Sorry, I don't.
Bad Ronald was a guy who was made fun of in the neighborhood. This is like a 13-year-old kid. He was constantly made fun of, Bad Ronald was.
Yeah.
And at some point, he had like a little 9-year-old girl talking shit in the neighborhood. Like, your mom is bad. You're bad, Ronald. And he pushed her. And he knocked her over, and she hit her head on a rock, and she died. So he buried her in a shallow grave. Kyle knows Bad Ronald. Some of Scott Jacoby's greatest roles, some would say. And his mom, who played Vera from the Planet of the Apes or whoever, built him a little cave underneath the staircase. That hollowed out area underneath the staircase. They built him a little room, and she hid him there. And the cops showed up, and they were like, where's Bad Ronald? And she said, he took off. He packed his clothes, and he left. I don't know where he is. So he hid under there. Well, what happened to the mom? She died.
Oh, man.
And then a new family with Dabney Coleman as the dad bought the house. But what they didn't know is they had Bad Ronald living under the staircase, and that's what Peanut was doing. There's even a scene where there's a nosy Karen neighbor who, like, at some point during the day when everyone's at school and at work, Bad Ronald's got to come out and get some food from the refrigerator and stuff. And they show the nosy neighbor like, going, oh, there's somebody in the house. Oh, he had to take care of her. So Peanut is living like Bad Ronald.
Oh, man.
And the neighbor spotted Peanut and dropped the dime.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. Kim Hunter was the mom. Sorry. All right, here's the clip. And by the way, it's the Bad Ronald references. That's why the young chicks like me.
Euthanized Peanut.
And the raccoon as well.
And the raccoon as well. I am so sorry. This must be really difficult for you.
It not only tears my family apart, but Peanut was the cornerstone of our nonprofit animal rescue. And 10 to 12 DEC officers raided my house as if I was a drug dealer. I was sat outside my house for 5 hours. I had to get a police escort to my bathroom. I wasn't even allowed to feed my rescue horses breakfast or lunch. I was sat there like
Did you know horses ate lunch?
After they interrogated my wife to check out her immigration status, then proceeded to ask me if I had cameras in my house, then proceeded to go through every cabinet, nook, and cranny of my house for a squirrel and a raccoon.
They got a search warrant?
They got a search warrant. 4 departments
All right.
and a judge signed off on it.
I don't know who this lady is crying behind him, but I want to hire her. Because every time I tell a story of woe,
Right next to you.
I just want her standing over my shoulder.
I just like how this is the first guy, this is his first interaction with the cops.
Can you do a good fake cry? All right, let me tell you the story. I grew up in a one-bedroom house, one bathroom, had to sleep on a service porch. No air conditioning, no heat. 2x4 ceiling joist, plywood, non-insulation. I slept on a prison mattress in the back and lived like an animal. An animal.
An animal.
I opened the fridge, maws come out. Nothing. No sandwich. No hugs. No I love you, son. None of it. I didn't have a Schwinn. I had a Huffy.
He only had one.
A Huffy. I had to wear Toughskins. No Levi's. Oh, okay. I just want this woman over my shoulder crying whenever I tell the story.
Me too.
I ordered a BLT, no mayo. I got extra mayo. Don't laugh. No, see, you can't do that, Joe. Thank you. All right. Sad.
Peanut's gone.
It's a metaphor for big government overreach. I'm done with big government.
But I think racism is a big part of this because the raccoon didn't even have a name.
Oh, no, he did have a name.
Oh, I thought they were racist against raccoons.
No, and he's mixed. But they do call them bandits.
Trash pandas? Is that a slur now?
I don't know, but they look like they're wearing a mask. The raccoon had a name.
Rocket?
It should have been, wait, say Rocky or Rocket?
Rocket. Rocket Raccoon?
Well, there's Rocky Raccoon from the Beatles.
Well, I mean,
and then there's Rocket Raccoon from the movie.
Yeah.
He was Fred the Raccoon. Anyway. Yeah. All right. You got another story?
Yeah, next up, Kalshi's embrace of the USDC triggers a $25 million cascade of last-minute wagers on the election result. Yeah.
Kalshi, yeah.
Kalshi, which is a great site to bet on just random things such as the election, now it now lets cryptocurrencies in, and as soon as that happened, $25 million came in on Kamala.
Yeah, so it was heavily weighted toward Trump.
Yep.
And I don't know gambling websites, but they're pretty accurate. They know what they're doing. You know, they pretty much call the Super Bowl. You know, they go 2.5, and the other team wins by 3 or whatever it is. Like they're pretty accurate. And there was a lot of action on Trump. He was a heavy favorite, but then the crypto money came in, and Kamala came back.
Why?
So, well, one could argue, possibly. One could argue that the crypto money, those guys are a little more connected. Like a little more dialed in.
I think you might be right about that.
Probably have some guys on the inside, you know. You think crypto, and I always think sort of tech bros, you know, and Silicon Valley and stuff. And those guys know things.
Yeah, because they have all the algorithm. They have the macro data.
And they know people, too, you know, and people talk to them about stuff. So the crypto money seems like the smart money, and that would bode well for Kamala.
Yeah, there's a slight edge still to Trump, but yeah, Kamala is pulling even.
Well, it's funny. I was looking into this, and I found out that Kalshi, what are you going to do when the election's over? But now you can move to my favorite sport, and I'm the Jimmy the Greek of Rotten Tomatoes.
You are.
Oh yeah, I can call it because I have an algorithm. Like women who kick ass in the lead, that's good for like 13 to 17 points. You know, there's certain races, there's certain ethnicities, there's certain themes. They love it.
And you know how to fit those algos together.
Well, like when they come out with Ted Nugent, the movie.
Yeah.
I know that the critics are not going to like that before it starts.
Yeah.
And when something comes out of Ben Shapiro's camp or Angel Studios or whatever, they're not going to like it, but the people will like it. So I can prognosticate when it comes to that. Also, mean, you gotta also realize when there's a consensus, Mayhem, when the critics and the people sort of both arrive in the same place at like 37%, that's the kiss of death. But anyway, Kalshi is a sponsor, so you can go there and use our sponsors, have a little fun. Kalshi.com/Adam and get in on some of the fun. All right, what else? Let's do one more.
All right. Well, if we're going to have one more, let's go with RFK Jr. vows the White House will advise taking fluoride out of drinking water if Trump wins.
The fluoride in the drinking water thing has been a thing for a long time.
But is it bad? I've been brainwashed by the system.
My mom was early sort of hippie, Yule Gibbons, many parts of the pine cone are edible. This all predates you. It used to be called ecology.
Oh, yeah.
It was not global warming, which it turned into. It went from ecology. Ecology had a flag. The flag was kind of like the Green Bay Packer flag, speaking of Aaron Rodgers. It was like...
Oh, wow.
The guy who...
Kind of ominous.
The guy who invented the ecology flag was definitely a Packers fan. He's probably sitting around, with his Bart Starr poster up in his room in 1972, thinking about Vince Lombardi and doodling. And he came up with a flag. Now, they called it ecology. And ecology just meant the earth, and take care of the land and all that kind of stuff. That then gave way to the Ice Age, which was going to hit. Then we abandoned the Ice Age and we flipped the script. We went for global warming. And now we just go with climate change, because when you go climate change, you can never be wrong.
Yeah.
If you go hot or cold, then people could go, well, the Earth's temperature hasn't gone up or if you go cold, then you can go, the Earth's temperature hasn't gone down. But if you just go climate change is awesome, because all you got to do is have the wind blow up a little bit and the rain come down a little bit and a tree falls over, and then you just look at it and go, see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
See what I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about. And every time a storm blows into Florida or hail lands in Texas, you go, see what I mean? See what I mean? Now will you admit I'm right? You got to admit I'm right. It was 119 in Phoenix the other day. That's climate change, bro. So now you can just point at everything that happens and go, you see what I'm talking about? Which is smart, because if you go, well, we're going to be living in an ice age, and then I can go, but it was 117 in Phoenix the other day. Now you're wrong.
Texas froze over.
Yeah. But
climate change.
You just go for climate change. So now there's climate change, and there was ecology. But back in the day, there was fluoride. And my mom was down. She didn't like fluoride. The hippies didn't like fluoride. They're putting it in the water, man. Now, no one drinks tap water anymore, so it's kind of moot, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Who's drinking tap water? They're all drinking bottled water now. But my mom used to brush her teeth with baking soda.
Mm. Yeah, that's a standard hippie move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she didn't want the fluoride in the toothpaste.
Wait, what the hell happens if you have too much fluoride?
If you talk to the people, they'll tell you sort of, remember there was like radon people, and asbestos people, about asbestos was everywhere and radon was everywhere.
Yeah.
It never really happens, but they don't like it. And then also when someone doesn't like something, you just go right to autism.
Yeah.
You go, in 1965, there were only 3 autistic kids in the nation, and now 11 out of 10 children have autism on the spectrum.
So that's what
you understand? Well, it's fluoride, or it's whatever. It's global warming, or no. It's what I said was climate change is causing autism, and then vaccines are causing autism, and then COVID caused autism. Autism is this thing that's always out there, and it's always on the rise, because we used to just call people dopes or lumpheads or stupid or lame. You know, we used to go, well, now that kid's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
So everybody's on the spectrum now. And we have to chalk it up to something.
So if I drink enough fluoride, I'll get better at math, but worse at social skills?
Yeah, if you drink enough fluoride and I drop a big box of matches.
Yeah.
And they all spill out all over the diner floor.
You can count them all.
You can count them all.
Damn. Gotta get some fluoride.
You gotta get some fluoride, bro. So that's what's going on. Now look, I don't know anything about fluoride other than it's supposed to help your teeth.
Yeah, I thought it was like something that helps, like from, I don't know, make your bones stronger. I know that fluoride
enamel or something, but okay, they start putting it in water and they start putting it in toothpaste, but nobody drinks water anymore, and I think you can get toothpaste without fluoride in it now. Does the Toms of Maine have fluoride in it? Because I use Tom's. Tom's just makes good stuff, kind of natural stuff. I prefer it to the big brand stuff.
But the whole crux of this story is that RFK is spearheading this movement. And he is, what, a lawyer for what?
He's environmental
lawyer, which would have been back in the day an ecology lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So could you see him climbing the mountaintop with the green Packers flag and firing down fluoride missiles? Or wait, fluoride blocking missiles?
I would like him to get heavily involved in the food pyramid and the FDA and all that. I'd love it if he cleaned all that stuff up.
The food pyramid is like the dumbest thing ever, isn't it? Like
the food pyramid is basically the government going, look, we're experts and here's what you should eat, and they're 100% wrong.
Yeah,
that's
like,
all you need to know about them.
Eat some bread.
Yeah,
heavy on the bread.
21 servings of whole grain bread, wheat, pasta, and all that, and then you shouldn't really eat meat.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Paid for by the farmers of America.
That's right. All right, one more, and then we'll...
All right, cool. An Iranian student strips, walks around in her underwear in apparent protest of strict hijab laws, leading to allegedly violent arrest. Yeah. Female college student. I don't know if we have some footage of this, but it is pretty wild story that a female college student was arrested in Iran Sunday for stripping down and strutting around campus in her underwear.
I heard a story she was beaten to death, but I don't know. It could be just hearsay on the internet.
Well, they said they saw some blood stains from the student were reportedly seen on the car's tires. So they ran her over, or
is she alive or not?
Yeah,
that's the question. So she got into trouble for not wearing the veil or whatever, and so she got angry. So she stripped down to her bra and panties and sat in the middle of the school. And then at some point, they arrested her and they'll do something horrible to her.
Yeah, she just sat here casually, in a place where you're supposed to wear a headscarf no matter what. As you can see, those girls, all wearing very casual dress, but. I see girls on TikTok wearing racier stuff than that. I don't know what's Iran's.
Yeah, those people those TikTok girls are in Florida.
Yeah.
She's in some sort of horrible oppressive culture. I don't know. It's 2024. Is this still, really? Yeah. We're still doing this. All right, we got the vid, and I like where her head's at. The problem with these kind of protests, it was the same thing with COVID and me going to the beach or going to the horse trail. I needed everyone to do it with me at the same time, not one person. That's how you get arrested and put in a gulag. All right, you can stop the footage. We don't need to see footage of somebody walking around. But
that's them snatching her up right there.
Oh, we have the footage of. I'm sorry. Then I apologize. I couldn't see her anymore. I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, they whisked her away in that car, and everybody's kind of freaking out.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, you guys in these nations, they always do this thing where they go, it's not the people, it's the government. You guys vote for this shit, or you tolerate this shit, or you install this shit. Here's what I'm saying. Let's just say, I've said this a million times, if the United States government was comprised solely of Klan members, that would be our fault.
Yeah.
You could go, the people of the United States are good, God-fearing, family-oriented, non-judging, whatever. If we every single year just decided that the Klan was going to run our country, that would be on us.
Well, here's the thing. They don't have guns over there. They don't have any way to really rebel. And as I understand it, in Iran, they some cleric of some kind basically spammed tapes to everybody in the country and the original viral video. Yeah, had everybody brainwashed on his rhetoric, and then suddenly the right-wing party over there, or whatever you call the theocratic party of Muslims over there, took over suddenly, and they've been like this for 40 some odd years.
Yeah, I've never been one of those, we need guns, not for hunting, but for the government kind of thing. But the more I look around and the more I see the cultures where nobody has a gun, and the more I hear folks like Kamala Harris going, it's a what we call a mandatory gun buyback. It's like, what do you mean mandatory gun buyback? I like the idea that they're so obsessed with getting the guns back, and also more regulation. Like the guy who owned Peanut, you didn't want that guy to have an AK.
Yeah.
They don't want him to have an AK because then they get to do what they want to do versus people having AKs. I'm not one of these guys just talking about fighting the military or anything like that. I'm just saying, when you're a government and you'd like to have your way all the time with everybody, them not being armed is helpful.